Dr. Carlos Campo is the president of Regent University. He's also on the board of Smart Beginnings Hampton Roads, a local group that advocates for early childhood education. Dr. Campo, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Wendy. Great to be here.
Well, as an educator, do you think preschool is an important aspect in a child's development?
It is. Almost all the research shows that preschool is a critical part. Those minds are forming so rapidly at that point that students who are engaged early on, teacher-focused, good instruction going on, they'll do better later on.
Well, do you think this is an opportunity to even out the playing field for underprivileged children, or is this a federal overreach?
You know, I think it has aspects of both. I mean, frankly, it's quite clear that this achievement gap that the president is concerned about really begins to widen after kindergarten and not so much before. And there is clearly a direct link between preschool and what we're looking at. But I think you also want to make sure that you know what is being taught to ensure that that really does close the achievement gap.
What setbacks do you see for a push like this?
Well, I think one setback is how will the money be spent? I'd like to say that I'm confident that the federal government is going to spend it wisely, that the education given to these young minds is going to be fruitful, but I'm not sure that there'll be a lot of moral education going on, and I'm concerned that there may be too much money spent on an effort like this that may not have the rewards that we'd really like to see.
Dr. Campo, do you feel the money this will take would be better spent in other ways to help low-income children?
Well, it's always the proof is in the pudding in a sense, Wendy, right? I think if we knew that the kind of education, the top-level education that could happen with this money, I would say that would be a great spend. As an educator, I always think that education is a terrific investment. So I think more than any other single thing, I'd like to see this money, frankly, given to local area groups so that parents really could be part of the decision makers here, because I think parents know best the kind of education that would shape their child's future. So if localities get this money, and it's not the federal government imposing the kind of teaching that should be occurring, then I would favor it.
I know it's kind of controversial about how early a child should go into preschool. Do you think 2 years old is okay maybe for some children, but not for all children?
I do think a parent has to be responsive. There are two sides to this issue. I think if the environment is right, if it's a rich environment where the child really can be expressed fully who they are, great. But I wouldn't want it to be too structured. Let kids be kids, too.
All right, Dr. Carlos Campo, president of Regent University. Thanks so much for your insights.
Thanks, Wendy.